Hey folks, my name is Alex Castaneda. It's been a while since I've made any videos, and I wanted to post a video because I can. I have a smartphone now, so it's possible. Get psyched, because these videos are going to be boring. Just kidding. But, like I said, my name is Alex Castaneda. I have a blog. I have an Instagram, so if anyone's interested in following me, you know, I'm kind of weird and cool, so I don't know, whatever. Take what you can from that. But for those of you who are concerned, I'm in a neck brace right now, and I was in a car accident on February 6th. I shouldn't say a car accident, though. I was hit by a van riding my bicycle, and I made contact with my left side on the van, and that's why I have a scar right here, because I fractured my clavicle, and then I separated my shoulder. On top of it, I had multiple fractures in my face right here, and part of my ear was a laceration, so I had to sew it back together because the skin was falling off. It was ridiculous. Like I said, I made contact with my left side on the van, and then afterwards I fell off. So be careful out there. I mean, it's dangerous. I thought it was untouchable. I thought it was invincible riding that thing, and next thing you know, a fucking van comes and turns right on you. You know, it's fucked up, but this shit happens, and it's real. You know, Mom was always worrying. She was always worrying, telling me, "Oh, you're gonna get hit by a car. Oh, you're gonna get hit by a car." And like, careful what you think, because the reality is you create your own reality. You create these things by thinking about it. And I mean, at the same time, it's like it's a double-edged sword, because I mean, you don't want to think about these things, but you do. And by not thinking about those things, you're not taking the necessary precautions to avoid them. But by thinking about it, you're instilling that kind of reality, and it's weird how it works, because like, what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to not worry that anything is ever going to happen to you, or are you supposed to like think about it and dwell on these things? It's a strange thing for me to think about. I don't know how to interpret it. I always just go and kind of like hope for the best, and I don't really put much thought into whether anything negative is going to happen to me. Even though I can be kind of pessimistic and negative sometimes, with people, I don't know, it's weird, because I have like strange connections with certain people, and I can be kind of pessimistic because I have an attitude. I don't know, I'm a tough person sometimes, but I'm a Cancer. That's my sign. It's my astrological sign, and I mean, everyone knows that Cancers are tough on the outside, and on the inside they're a little bitch. You know, they're pussy. They're sensitive, and that's pretty much how I am. I'm very sensitive. I'm very intuitive as well. I can pick up on people's vibes, and I happen to think that, I mean, I know myself pretty well. I think, I would like to think that I do, at least, and I mean, I can pick up on my mood and my sensations, like how I'm feeling at any given time. I can tell like how I'm feeling, and I can pretty much figure out why and where it's coming from most of the time. And I mean, I'm pretty blessed, because a lot of people aren't capable of that. You know, a lot of people, they don't understand themselves. And I mean, to some extent, I don't really understand myself. I'm 22. I'm still growing. So there's still a lot of things I have to learn about myself in order to really become the person that I am. But I feel like I've got a head start on a lot of the things. But at the same time, I tend to, like I said, I'm kind of weird, and I don't know, some people interpret me as creepy or whatever the case may be, and that's for them to decide. I don't give a shit. Like, that doesn't matter. I've grown up my whole life thinking that I'm like a fucking burden to people and a nuisance, and the reality is, like, fuck those people. Who gives a shit? Like, those people don't matter. those people are a waste of your time. You don't need people instilling those thoughts in your mind. But I just wanted to go over a few things. Since I haven't made a video in a while, and people are probably, I don't know, I mean, no one really gives a shit. No one really knows me on YouTube, so I just kind of want to introduce myself. About a year ago, I want to say, a little less than a year ago, I was vlogging, because I'm on Tumblr, and I was vlogging, and I came across some blogs that were not traditional, you know, like people always posted shit that, like, they liked, you know, like material goods, like those things are what's important, and I feel like everyone's always looking for something more, you know, regardless of whether you're a swag fag or whatever, like, or you're a hipster. Like, personally, I don't believe in that hipster bullshit. Anyone that says you're a hipster is a fucking douchebag. Like, there's no such thing as a hipster. You are who you are. Like, you fucking like what you like. Don't let fucking people tell you that you're a hipster because you like to do certain things, or you like to fucking ride a bicycle and wear tight pants. Like, don't fucking let people tell you who you are. That's bullshit. But like I said, I came across a lot of different blogs that were very inspiring. You know, people always talking about like, people would talk about rape culture, and they would talk about like their ethics and their values, and it was a different part of the blogosphere. It was a different concept to believe in, and that's when I came across veganism. And I started to really think about it. I began to fear, you know, like why, like, people eat these things, and why people eat meat and cheese and dairy, and basically what happened was I became vegan, you know, like, after reading all the information and seeing what I had experienced my whole life, you know, actually, like, taking it all in. It was overwhelming. I was like, fuck that, I'm done with that shit. I don't need that in my life. And I think the hardest thing was giving up cheese, because it's so easy to put cheese on everything and be like, oh, well, like, you know, they live, you know, there's no problem with that. But the reality is, that's not the truth. Animals need to be raped in order to be, you know, impregnated and to create the milk that creates the cheese. So it's a whole fucking line of things that I don't agree with. Ethically, I don't agree with, and I don't want to be a part of a world that is involved with that, you know. But before I went vegan, I was working at McDonald's. So I was already thinking about it, you know. I didn't like meat, period. You know, it was expensive to buy. It was almost like a slap in my face whenever I would go and look at it. I was like, why the fuck do I need that? Like, who's to say that I need to buy, like, I had a problem buying milk. I had a problem buying meat. I didn't feel ethically inclined to buy. Well, it wasn't ethical at that time. It was more, I don't know what it was. There was something inside me telling me, you know, like, you don't need that shit to live. And who's to tell you that you do? You know, like, and I guess I'm making these videos to kind of, like, understand who I am a little bit further, you know, to let these videos speak to me in a way that you don't really hear, you know, by thinking. You have to kind of, like, see it and relive it. But, yeah, I mean, that's basically what was going on in my life. I was working at McDonald's, and I had watched the movie Food Incorporated for the first time, and that movie was the kind of movie that got me questioning, like what's in our food? Like, what, maybe paranoid, like, what are we eating? What is our country feeding us? Because basically, I mean, that's what our country is responsible for feeding us and making us consumers. That's what we do. We consume as human beings here on Earth right now at this time of our life that we're living. You know, this is what we do. We consume products, and they know that. They know that we can't go day by day without consuming products, whether it be food, whether it be makeup, whether it be cosmetics, shampoo, whatever the case may be, clothes. These are consumer goods. You buy these things every day, and they know that. The government knows that. Well, not the government, but companies, and the companies aren't to blame. The reality is we are to blame. We are to blame for all the shit that we do. And you can reduce your consumer need by going vegan. You can reduce your consumer need. You can reduce the amount of products that are consumed, like water for one, oil. What's another one? Land, and food. These are 4 things that you can reduce by just not eating meat, not eating milk, and not eating eggs. These are dangerous. Not only are they bad for your body, but they're dangerous to the earth. They create pollution to the earth and pollution to your body. Anytime you eat a product or you put something on your body, it's a product that's foreign to your body. Nothing should ever really go in your body. Our bodies, they don't get enough credit. A human body doesn't get enough credit because, we are self-sustaining life forces. We're alive. You go, one of the arguments that's, most people don't, probably, a lot of people don't even know where I am at this point, with the discussion, but I'm going to explain trees. Trees, they just grow, they live. They don't really eat. There's a lot that people don't actually know about trees and plants, but they're alive. And there's some theories and some studies that lead people to believe that plants can actually read your mind. They can actually respond to stimuli, and they're alive. We all know that plants are alive, obviously, but they are a functioning organism that is beyond our capacity, beyond most people's capacity to understand. But I think the body doesn't get enough credit. It can heal itself. Think about this. You go 8 hours without sleeping every night. You go 8 hours without eating every night. And then you wake up in the morning and you break fast. So that's what you do. You break fast. So you're fasting every night. People don't really know that. And I don't know much about dreaming, but I know that when I'm dreaming, sometimes it's better, but sometimes it's worse. But it's a totally different realm. It's not something that is like the physical realm here where we are. And some people would say we're in the Matrix. I don't know what to fucking make of that, but some people really say we're living like robots, essentially, and slaves, and we don't really have control of our lives, and that kind of scares me thinking about it. It's like I want control of my life. I want to be able to do the things that I want to do, and I want to live my dreams out and make something of myself. And just because these are theories that people believe doesn't mean it's not possible. If we are living in the Matrix, it's exactly the opposite, because you can create whatever you want. We're creators, essentially. You can make things manifest. You can make it's not instantly, but basically all you have to do is think about something that you want and go do it, and then it's manifested. It's that simple. And a lot of people have a hard time understanding that, and that's where there's a deficiency, a lack of urgency, and not wanting to do the things they love and that they want to do. And that's one thing that I see in a lot of people these days. They say what they want to do, but they don't do it, and then something else comes along, and they stick to something else. It's just weird. But this video is getting really long, and I'm going to stop talking now. But for those of you who are interested in following me on Instagram, It's Vita Semplice. So it's Vita Semplice. Alright, well, I think I'm done. I don't really care. I don't want to tell you.